Day4. Let's wait for a few participants to join us in. Yes. Yes, Karthik's here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Vipin. Good morning, Karthik. Yes, absolutely. I've been feeling better. So I've not been able to show up today at the usual time at 7 a.m. because I've not been feeling well and needed some extra sleep. However, now I'm better, refreshed, much more energetic, and I'm ready to go. You can see that I still have a nasally voice. I have a nasally voice and I might be coughing in between. But yet, here we are because this is a challenge of consistency, right? This is a challenge of consistency. So, once you start getting into the habit of consistency, you don't want to stop no matter what happens, even if you're not at your best, even if you're not. Uh, and if you're not at your best, you still want to try whatever is possible by you, and that's exactly the intention with which we are here today. Let us start. Okay, so when you're looking at the coral, it's very interesting. You can see that when you're looking at the scallop, you can see that, okay, you can see that there is this shape that's running along its length. If you look at it, so let's just take this big piece here because it's the easiest to explain. You can notice that this has this on it itself, it has these lines that are running on it. In fact, sketching it is very simple. You start with a large shape, large circle, divide this into parts, and then just divide it into smaller parts. So if you've attended the mentoring session where I teach the basic sketching techniques, you'll be doing these. Okay, so notice you will see these lines running along it. See these? You'll see these lines running along it. See, let me just show you this here again. So here you see this one. In fact, it's very obvious. It's very visible. It's very visible. In the image that we are drawing itself, that these lines here. See this curves here. This curves here. This curves here. This curvature. So you want to first spend a little time studying the curvature and drawing it, because we start by drawing this curvatures. We start by drawing the curvature with pencil because this is the easiest. This is the most basic of where to start the drawing. Draw this with pencil because then we can always bring changes. For example, here I'm seeing that I'm not, I don't think I've just captured the curves. I've captured the shape very well here. So I can simply erase it, right? I can simply erase it. So here I can do this. Here I can do this. Yes, Pooja, thank you so much. Much better. You can see you can see still sound nasally, but that's okay. We are committing, right? We are committing for something and we'll stick to it no matter what. And I'm super grateful to you all. I'm super grateful to you all for showing up here in the morning. And it's you people. It's for you people when I'm doing these. I am staying accountable. I'm staying accountable to myself as well. And that's invaluable. Thank you so much. Here also I'm just drawing these. Take your time drawing these, and when you're drawing these, notice how these curves are all parallel. Notice how these curves are parallel. See this? They're not straight, but they're parallel. You need to understand that being straight and being parallel are two different things. I can make something curved and yet I can make them parallel. I can make it straight and I can make it non-parallel. So the point is making sure these are parallel, and overall this contributes to a cohesive form. You can also see that the in the outline we can bring changes in here so that we are just making these edges curved. You're just giving this extra bump on on these edges. See this? I'm just giving this extra bump on this edge. Here again, I'm giving this extra bump so that okay, bump, not bump. So I'm giving this extra bump here because that's how the surface edge of this feels. Same for this side. See, see that? Let's try for the other shape as well. Okay. So notice here how I'm curving it here. Just the whole key, the whole technique behind this is being able to feel the shape of it. Like imagine yourself as if you as though you were moving your hands around this. How would that be? Imagine as though you were moving your hands around this. See how will that go? That is the whole concept of contouring. So if you're drawing something that's cylindrical, that means the contouring of that will go this way. If you're drawing something that is slanting, then the contouring will go that way. If you're drawing something that is like a cup, for instance, its contouring will go this way. You understanding? It's all about just being able to feel the shape. If you're drawing something circular, then its contouring will go this way. See, if you imagine if you tied a thread around it, isn't this how it will look like? So this, why are we doing this contouring? Because this helps me understand. This helps me get a better understanding of the shape. Right. See, same for this. So you want to spend a good amount of time drawing out the contour, mapping out the contour, I will say. Give me a yes if this concept of contouring is getting much more clearer to you, and that these curves are not arbitrary, but they actually do serve purpose. And the coral is beautiful because it shows it. This is one of the naturing things. This is one of the natural things that shows the shape and this contouring well. Superb. Let me give this a little bit of depth emphasis, okay? Just give me a minute. Let me give this a little bit of depth emphasis, and I'm giving this some thickness because this surface, this has its thickness. I need to draw that out with pencil as well. Otherwise, mine wouldn't look as real, right? This looks fake. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, that's very true, huh? A lot of people are getting cough and cold. I don't know. I think after COVID, the whole immunity variant has dropped down. And even for me, like I was so proud of my immunity and my health. I mean, I take care of my fitness a lot, my diet and everything. But yet after once I got COVID, I'm very susceptible to cough and cold. Once it comes, it never goes. Around January, I had got a similar situation, a cough, and nearly for a month or so, I was coughing continuously. I don't even know. It's kind of strange, right? So here again, I'm going to now draw these. See, notice for this one, while this one is okay. This is very important. Notice how, while the curvature of this goes outwards, goes outwards, the curvature for this comes in. See this one, if you like, the whole thing is not thing is imagination. Just imagine yourself moving your hands around it. You know that this would curve outwards, whereas for this one, this would go inwards, isn't it so? So now when you're moving this inwards, you got to show that. Probably season changing, October heat, rainy humidity, probably. Right, for this one, you would curve it inwards. See this? You would curve this inwards. See here again. The whole thing is you, and then notice how this line perfectly coincides with this edge. So it's a contribution of all this edge, this curvature of this line, and this overall shape that contributes to the three dimensionality of it. You want to make this look 3D, right? That's the only thing that's really good here. So I'll just give you all a minute to catch up on this and that. So that's this thing. So just spend some time analyzing what we just did. We try to understand the shape, size. I can just now add in the bump, the curvature here, here. Just work on the curvature here. All right. So that's what the thing. Now, now I'm going to start inking this out. I'm going to start inking the outlines of this. So for this one, you can use the 01 pen. You can use the 005 pen. Now we'll first draw with the 005 pen, and then we later add in the details. See, I'm going to start outlining these. Notice here. Notice how I'm drawing with a double line and I'm emphasizing on these edges here. Because that's how I can get the shape of this correct. See? So when I'm drawing this a double line, I can exactly get the feel of it. Because if you see this one, there is this gap in between each of these. So you are not just trying to capture the curve, these curves also present with them a gap. You want to draw that as well, right? So you curve this here, then again, see, try and draw this gap. Can you curve this? Then again, you curve this gap. See? So notice how I'm making these lines parallel. Sometimes, sometimes a few lines might go off, but yet overall, I'm working on these edges and I'm also drawing the gaps in between them. See that? Let's try the same for this other side as well, okay? See? Carefully you draw. As you draw this, take complete care and attention to getting it correct. It can often be challenging to get the flow exactly correct. Yet you got to stick to it. Uh, Here again, you curve this out well. So don't be in a hurry when you're doing it because it's all a matter of care. I mean, nature has spent so much time carefully designing it. I mean, such a beautiful design. This is right. You don't want to wait. You don't want to hurry it. In fact, one should feel honored being able to draw it. See, just carefully, slowly curve. It's this repetition here. So first start with this edge, carefully just draw this, correct it. Again, you can correct it on this edge as well. Start off with one side. See, draw as much as you can. Then pull from the other side. The whole thing is you gotta overcome your fear of drawing. Because often when you're starting out, you'll have a certain fear. You'll have a certain fear that this might not come, and because of that fear, your lines will show. It will show in that lines. Believe it or not, when you're not confident of your stroke, it shows in your drawing. Right? When you're confident, it comes. So yes, 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 exactly. That happens, right? There's a lot of pressure also. See, the problem is that there's a lot of pressure when you're trying to draw, you're trying to get that perfection. There's a lot of pressure also involved. So drawing is also a training in being able to handle a good amount of pressure, which is certainly becomes very useful, right? In every area of life. For example, Uday sir being uh, in the business, you know that you got to handle a lot of pressure, whether you're regardless of whether you're negotiating, regardless of whether you're investing, regardless of whether you're buying, selling, advising. There's a lot of pressure involved. So this also becomes a good exercise in being able to handle pressure. So just carefully you draw one line after another and you did. So now we have these edges, we have the shape, we have the curve coming. So and you know, like as much as possible we try to keep it fluid. Of course, some areas don't match, some areas don't really pan out the way we want, but it's okay. We can always correct them later for later. Let's also work on this edge here. Working on this edge here, 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 here. Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. Pressure plus being able to flow into a situation. So Bruce Lee has said this: be like water, my friend. So that really means one should be very fluidic and adaptive to the environment, not rigid. If you put water into a cup, the water becomes like a cup. If you put the water into a bottle, it becomes a bottle. If you put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow very fluidically. It can flow very soft, yet it can crash in the most powerful way, tsunamis when necessary. Be like water. Be water, my friend. So, you know, sketching also teaches you to be adaptive and fluidic. So many lessons that you're learning. So you're just carefully drawing, and you know, like right now, I am lost in this whole chain of drawing this. And as you're drawing, feel free to rotate the book, okay? The only reason I am holding the book straight all the while drawing is for your viewing comfort. And if you can rotate, you can turn it like this, you can turn it in whatever ways you want. Like if I were to, when I'm originally drawing, I rotate it liberally. It's only for the session, for your viewing pleasure, that I'm not moving the book anywhere. So don't feel intimidated by that. I practiced. I practiced. Yes, literally, I practiced for this. So next is, I want to add a little bit of depth here. So let me add by first working in. Let me first work in ways inside this. Okay. So this becomes rather easy. You start by simply hatching. So let's start by just just hatching the inside areas of these. Okay, so let's start by simply hatching the inside areas of these. See that? So you're just filling the gap here with shading. That's it. Just small vertical hatching you're doing to fill this up. Carefully, you just do this to fill this up. And this, you're filling up the gap here. You can do this, or if you wish to make things a little faster, you can also simply fill the gap here with this. I think this is better. I think this is better because other one is too time consuming, I think. So I'll just use a bolder pen and I'll just fill the gap here. Okay. So just emphasize on these gaps and that's it. Same for here also. So with every drawing, you got to understand the purpose of why you're doing it also. If you want to really create a masterpiece with every drawing, if you just want to, if you're simply sketching, because you want to make a drawing, you want to stay consistent. You're doing it for consistency and for habit. Here we are doing it trying to stay consistent. So if you're spending too much time on every drawing, unless you have that amount of time, okay, you wouldn't really stay consistent. And even if you did, you wouldn't enjoy doing it. If because of sketching you had to give up on every other area of your life, everything else that you love, if you had to give up spending time with your family, if you had to give up on exercising, if you had to give up, some lot of people give up on eating and sleeping, then it's a very easy way to burn out. There. So I quickly fill the gap here. Okay, now I'll move on to this side. Here also I am filling this gap here. See, notice how I am darkening this edge here to create this shadow effect. Okay, create a shadow effect. So now I've darkened the gaps in between. Okay, I've darkened the gaps in between. For this one, I'll not be treating it the same. I'll not be giving it the same treatment because this goes inwards. While for this one, this is more like like it's this bump that you're feeling here. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply start hatching. I'm going to simply start hatching these gaps. So you can just simply fill these here with these lines. 0.1 pen or 0.005 pen, whatever you think is apt. Don't keep it very dark. You just want to simply fill these. See, just use the reason I'm drawing each of these areas. So each of these segments, giving it separate hatches and not, just hatching it as a whole, is to give it this segmented feel. Because by doing so, I'm giving it a nice segmented feel. Otherwise, what will happen? This will all look like one surface. So by hatching each of these separately, I can literally feel that this is separate, this is separate, this is separate. So you got to think of these different aspects as well when you're drawing. And let's not stop at this. Let's add some depth inside here. So I'm using cross hatching now on these inside areas so that I can get the most depth here. See, using an additional layer of hatching in between to get this depth, right? Yes, when we draw, it's a sadhana. It's a meditation practice. And you can, of course, use a nice bold pen and simply just darken this. So notice how I have left these areas light, because when light falls here, it's these areas that have most depth. There are most shadows and depth. They receive they receive the least a lot less light. This inside edge. So you can in fact even just add a third level of hatching to get it. Right. So you just overall work on getting this depth and tonal value slowly by adding one layer after another layer after another layer after another. One one layer after another layer after another layer. You work that way. In fact, for these also you can just put light hatching. So now slowly reaching the end of the drawing. So you can just put this light hatching here to curve this. See, we have now, like by curving, adding a few curved strokes here, we've got this as well. And why? Let's not stop here. Let's in fact just add a bit of hatching and strokes for this also. So just putting this, it's like the last touches that you're doing on this. So using a 005 pen, you're putting light hatches here. See, exactly right. When you're drawing more natural objects, our mind tends to become calm because of their inherent nature. So, like when I'm drawing people, I used to draw a lot of Buddha and Shiva back then. When I started my art journey, I would draw a lot of Buddha and Shiva because by drawing them, I believe that I would also absorb some of their calm, some of their qualities. And what you're drawing, it's like we think that the artist creates the art, but the truth is that the art in turn is what is creating the artist. So what you draw creates you. Have you ever thought of it that way? If you're drawing a lot of disturbing images, you tend to be you naturally have a natural disposition to be a very disturbed person, a very disturbed mind. I'm not generalizing, but this is simply my observation. So here also we'll just add a little bit of this hatching, not everywhere. See, Notice the nature of my hatches here. Here I'm keeping it very light. Not only am I keeping it very light, I'm leaving a lot of gaps and distance between them so that as a whole this doesn't have a lot of impact, right? It's still dark. Right. I love this. I love the effort that's gone into this. We took a little extra time. We took like, no, not a lot of time. In fact, we took 40 minutes, but 35 to 40 minutes. But I love the way this has come out. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Now, rest is all about, just giving it these touches, these small, small touches here. And that's it. So, this is Niranjan signing off. And it's 4th of October 2022. Today is day 4 scallops. How many of you enjoyed drawing this? How is this for you? Very calming, right? Very calming and relaxing, right? Thank you so much, Uday sir, for that compliment. Appreciate that. Truly appreciate that. See this. Let's simply erase off the paths. Let's erase off the residual pencil marks, and that's when the beauty of a drawing really comes out. So if you want, you can in fact add a hatching background for this, and you can just create a depth effect on this if that's what you want. If you don't want to, make it seem like it's standing in the air, you want to make it seem like it's standing in the air, you can do that. But otherwise, I love this erasing part of a drawing. It's very, very nice and relaxing. Erasing part of a drawing, very nice and relaxing. Right, love it. There you go. So that's day 4, Scallop, and we will see you again tomorrow, day 5. What is on day 5? Day 5. Day 5 flame. Ooh, I can't wait to draw tomorrow. Day 5 flame. Day 5 flame. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Right? We're going to be drawing a phoenix tomorrow for day 5 flame. So come ahead, be prepared with your sketches, and we will see again. Thank you all once again. Thank you all so much for joining, and I wish you all the best. Have an amazing day, and take care. Bye bye.